On BeeTv Major News tonight, coming to you live from Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. And now to the news headlines. Breakdown of law and order in Benin averted after APC youth resist private security outfit brought to the premises of Edo Governorship Election Petition Tribunal.
He said they are private security. I said, what? Private security? Okay, if I come here with my private security, how would this place look like?
Political tension in Benin City, Edo State as APC PDP apart reclaim party secretariat.
And you capture
An enemy.
a country, you take their flags.
Don't forget, I've always said from time that we don't want problems. That when you bring trouble, there's no trouble.
In Edo State, as students sit on bare floor to learn in Gelegele community in Edo State.
And this is staff who I'm okay.
That the number they say, take the number. Ayuba form. Ayuba. Sorry. Ayuba bobo.
No ceiling, no windows, no doors. So even the teachers cannot keep their stationaries in the school.
Good evening and thank you for joining on our live for today. My name is Gift Owagboy. And now to the news in details. An attempt by some private security outfit who poses as bouncers to take over the role and duty of the police at the premises of the Edo State Governorship Election Tribunal were rebuffed by supporters of the APC who said that the security personnel allegedly brought to the tribunal had the intentions of disrupting court proceedings. BeeTv News senior reporter Best Orator captured the free-for-all.
That was the free-for-all situation at the premises of the Edo State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal in Benin City. Trouble started when some private security personnel allegedly brought to the court by the PDP attempted to take over the duty and the responsibility of the Nigerian police as they mounted the entrance, dictating who shall access the courtroom. At a point, some chieftains of the APC, including the state party chairman Emperor Jared Tinubu, arrived with some other party leaders, but the overzealous private security men prevented those who came with the APC chairman from accessing the court. The situation angered some APC youths and requested that the so-called private security men or bouncers leave and allow the police do their job. The refusal of the bouncers to quit led to the free-for-all. While the scuffle was ongoing, the Edo State PDP youth leader, architect Thaddeus Irabo, made frantic efforts to save the local PDP bouncers, but his efforts failed as the APC youth overpowered them and forced them out of the court premises.
This man leave this man now. Ah. No, this one is come, this man is still here. Okay, should go.
When the local security men appeared to have lost the battle, some of them ran into the arms of policemen who stationed outside the courtroom, while court officials and litigants enjoyed the drama.
What's your back?
APC State Youth Leader Comrade Tony Kabaka Adun, joined by Kelly Okungbawa alias Ebustone, said they were surprised to know that the PDP allegedly brought their private security men to the tribunal as if the Nigerian police informed them that they lacked the manpower to provide security at the tribunal. They said they would not tolerate any situation that would lead to chaos because of the selfish interest of some persons.
Thank God for today that a lot of people are in the court. So they like rumor, they like spreading fake rumor. What happened today, as we were coming, I'm the state youth leader, and I was with my chairman, the national chairman, the state party chairman, Chief Jarrett Etenebe. As we were trying to enter the court, they stopped the chairman of our party not to get access to the court. So we were now asking questions, what is happening? The next thing we saw black and black with their cap, and we observed them. We see that they were not security agency. They are not. Some of them are not even from these states. So what are you people doing here? Why are you depriving our chairman? That's why we now raise alarm. Security agency. People that are supposed to be on ground here is either the DSS or the police. Who are all these people? He said they are private security. I said, what? Private security? Okay, if I come here with my private security, how would this place look like? I said, no, we can't take this. You people have to move. So along the line we were talking to them, they were trying to prove they know more than what they are here for. So we have to resist them and drive them out. As you see, the proceeding in court today went peaceful, without no gun shooting, nobody injured, nobody cried. But if they were in charge, you could have heard a story today.
The state chairman, the secretary, and all the escorts not to enter the court. So that's when we told them they cannot do this yet. The only person that has right to screen or to check the list of the people that is coming with the state chairman is the accredited security agencies like the police and other and DSS. So we find out that those people were just made bodyguards to Aswe, and that's when we told the police who was in charge. I think they say it's a DSP at the gate, at the door, that he should tell those security agencies to leave there. And he refused to do so. We had no choice than to resort to self-help. On our own, we asked them to leave. And eventually, we succeed. We drove them from the court, and we drove them out from the court premises. And it may interest you to know that the last time we were in court, there was a gunshot around the court premises. They were the same people who did it. And they came out and started saying it was with the APC. And we want to use this medium to appeal to the Inspector General of Police and the State Commissioner of Police that they should beef up this place with security. Enough is enough. We are the ruling party. We cannot be intimidated at all time. We want to use this medium to appeal once again that they should not allow this to happen again.
It's a counterfeit. If the police cannot do their job, we'll resort to self-help. We will resort to self-help. As well as security to come and intimidate us. You see, the problem is that we don't.
Although normalcy was restored, the situation almost degenerated into a full-blown crisis right here at the Election Petitions Tribunal. For many observers, it is the duty of security agencies like the Nigerian Police and the DSS to provide security for those taking part in the court hearing and not any other private security agency. And to forestall such incidents from happening in the nearest future, members of the All Progressives Congress have now called on the Inspector General of Police to beef up security in order for those who are here, whether the panel or the counsel to parties or even journalists like ourselves, to be safe. From the premises of the Edo State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal in Benin City, the Edo State capital, Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
Meanwhile, the Edo governorship election petition today entertained the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate Dr. Aswe Ighodalo that is challenging the declaration of Senator Monday Okwebolo as winner of the election. BeeTv News senior reporter Best Orator, who was in court, reports that the petitioners tendered INEC documents to aid their petition. The report.
Senior advocates of Nigeria from both sides of the divide exchanging pleasantry at the tribunal before hearing commenced. At the resumed hearing in the petition by Dr. Aswe Ighodalo and the People's Democratic Party against Senator Monday Okwebolo, Council announced their appearance and expressed their readiness for the day's proceeding. Although Oyeyipo Oyebanji SAN appeared for the petitioner Aswe Ighodalo and PDP, Mozia SAN thereafter took over the matter. While addressing the court, Mozia SAN said in the last date, the court directed the verification of the documents and said that the directive has been carried out in the presence of the tribunal registrar and our council representatives were present during the verification. Thereafter, they proceeded to tender the documents. First was the certified true copy of Forms EC8E, which is the state's election results, and also submitted Forms EC8D. Council for the first to third respondents objected to the tendering of the document and said there were adduced reasons for the objection in a later date. Mozia SAN also informed the court that they were tendering 18 copies of Forms EC8C, that is the election results of each of the local government areas across the state. Although counsel to the petitioners has said the documents were certified true copies of INEC documents, the chairman of the three-man panel tribunal, Justice Wilfred Bochi, apparently noticed something unusual and went ahead to ask the senior advocate if the documents were truly certified true copies. Mozia SAN did not, however, respond to the question, which obviously could be the reason counsel to INEC, Kanu Agabi SAN, and the two other respondent counsel objected to the admissibility of the documents. The petitioners also tendered copies of Forms EC8B, that is the ward results from the 10 wards of Akoko Edo local government area, 9 wards of Ego, excluding Ward 7, 10 forms of EC8B from Esan Central local government area, 11 from Esan Northeast local government area, and 10 from Esan Southeast local government area. Also, the results sheets from the 10 wards of Esan West were also tendered. The 10 from Esako Central and 10 copies of Forms EC.
Now say this is the reason why we have to object to this one and all that. The court was saying that the schedule ought to have been filed. The schedule ought to have been filed. Since the schedule was not filed, so they have to follow this procedure. If it was filed, it would have been faster. But you know, no, you don't want to take any risk. That was why they had to follow this. The reason why we're objecting is that at the end of the day, we will see 1 or 2 lapses. So you object at this first instance. You can find your reasons for objection later.
At the time of this report, the petitioners were still tendering documents. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
The All Progressive Congress APC Edo State Chapter has taken possession of its party secretariat at number 59 Airport Road, Benin City, 4 years after it was forcefully evicted by the People's Democratic Party. APC State Chairman Emperor Jared Tenebe,
Inspector General of Police, and in his wisdom, agreed that they should take over the secretariat, but alleged that because the Commissioner of Police in the state at that time was working hand in hand with former Governor Godwin Obaseki, they refused to allow them access. Speaking further, the party chairman said he came into office to reclaim the state and redress all the wrongs done by the PDP and former Governor Godwin Obaseki.
We always protect his children because we are godly people. And we also don't make trouble. God will always protect his own. Don't forget, I've always said from time that we don't want problems. That when you bring trouble, there's no trouble. I'm happy that I'm in my office today. We have taken over at Airport Road. You saw when they took the chairman of PDP out of this place. And you also hear when the police came here, and you also saw reasons why we have to be here. And they came here to pay, that's courtesy visit that they have just paid. And we are happy about it. God is happy. All the APC faithful are happy. You can see my youth leader is very happy. All members of State Working Committee and ESCO are happy. All the leaders of the party in Edo State are happy. In fact, Edo State as a whole is happy.
Officially announcing the takeover of the property, Emperor Jared Tenebe said the APC will remodel the building into its official pattern and promised to resist any attempt by any group or vested interest to displace them from the property or any of their other properties.
You know, when they took this office from us, they did not stop at that. They went to all the local government and collected our offices from us. And we are going to recover all the offices across the state from them, because those offices belong to us. Thank you, and God bless you.
The Deputy Commissioner Police in charge of operations, Ben Abang, accompanied by other senior police officers, was also at the newly reclaimed APC Secretariat to get a first-hand brief on the reclaiming of the office as he interacted with the APC chairman and other top party executives.
I think it's all over. You can just give of course.
You are legitimately here. Legitimately. Exactly. And our rent is still running. Without violence.
Without violence.
And nobody injured. No. Nobody. Please, whatever happens here in this state, we have something to say.
Why we feel, let us take property. Now, it is after we have taken over that we tend to now write to the police to help us to secure the place. Thank you. Because we will secure.
And I think
I will come to your office.
Okay, I think it is better you see the commissioner of police.
No, definitely I will see him.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We need security here.
The state's PDP chairman, Dr. Tony Azengbemi, who was in the premises as at the time of the building takeover, was later escorted out of the building in company of the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Blessing Agbebaku. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
We apologize, that story was taken by BeeTv News senior reporter, Best Orator. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has described the attack on its party secretariat as the worst attack on democracy in any part of Nigeria since the nation's return to democracy in 1999. In a statement, the PDP said even military regimes before 1999 were not as violent or brutal against dissenting voices as the Okpebholo-led government since the APC took over office on November 12, 2024. The party, during a press briefing, said the attack is a clear reflection of the reign of terror that the people of Edo State have witnessed over the past 2 months and stated unequivocally that PDP is the legitimate tenant of the said property on number 59 Airport Road, Benin City. Details of the press briefing will be brought to you tomorrow. The president of the Nigerian Economic Society, NES, Professor Adeola Adenikiju, has called on the federal government to prioritize direct cash transfers to the poor and significantly increase capital spending in the proposed 2025 budget. Professor Adeola, an economist from the University of Ibadan, made this appeal during an interactive session organized by the Senate Committee on Appropriation in Abuja on Thursday. BeeTv News' Glorious Isirame has the details. As federal lawmakers race against time to complete work on the proposed 2025 budget, the Senate Committee on the Appropriation opens its doors to Nigerian economic manager experts in the private sector and the civil society to deliberate extensively on the fiscal document. President Bola Tinubu had in December submitted an estimate of 49.7 trillion naira tagged budget of restoration. Chairman of the Appropriations Committee, Adiola Olamileran, says while the president's projections look ambitious, it is not totally out of reach, stressing that Tinubu Olamileran right track to surmount Nigerians' economic challenges.
Where these economic assumptions are retained in 2025 budget, we will follow up critically with relevant MDAs all year round in ensuring that these assumptions are realized for effective implementation of 2025 budget.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, shared in Olamilekan's statement when he said the resolve of the 10th Senate to help President Tinubu succeed is unshakable.
We want to assure you that our resolve to assist the current administration to succeed for this nation is unshakable. I'm very confident that once we're able to collate our ideas together and we produce a budget that is workable, a budget that will lead to sustainable growth, Nigeria will definitely be better.
Dissecting the 2025 budget, President of the Nigerian Economic Summit, Professor Adiola Adenikeji, advised lawmakers to assume a consecutive approach in the budget planning. He said while Nigerians' revenue is challenged, the budget has the ingredients to unlock Nigerians' economic potentials, but to do so, he advised government to spend more on capital projects to create jobs and lower poverty, which he said can best be tackled through cash transfers to the poor.
We need to tie those capital spending to job creation. And if we do that, that also impacts on employment generations, and poverty reduction.
The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, digresses slightly with the professor when he said the best way to fight poverty is for government to support business activities.
The key to poverty eradication for a country with massive underemployment and people who are begging for attention is to support economic activity.
The stakeholders' engagement and the budget is a very first of its kind in the National Assembly. Gloria Sisiramen reporting for BeeTv News. Indigenes of Gelegele community in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State have appealed to the state government and other relevant authorities to provide them with standard schools for learning and to rehabilitate the access road linking to the community. When BeeTv News visited Gelegele community, the school building is in a deplorable state as students sat on bare floor to learn. Our senior reporter, Best Orator, has the rest of the story.
This is staff and okay.
This is the situation at Equity Grammar School in Gelegele community in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State. For our first-time visitor, the school building alone tells it all that all is not well for the students learning in the school. And entering into the school building, students sat on bare floor to learn as there were neither chairs nor desk. The building has broken roofs as well as damaged writing boards. The worst hit is bad toilet facility, prompting students to use the bush area to answer nature's call. Another sorry story about the school is lack of teachers, as only 2 volunteered community teachers are in the school with excessive workload of teaching multiple subjects coupled with lack of teaching aids and poor welfare package. Speaking with BeeTv News, the volunteer teachers Ruben Mito and Abba Blessing said it is not easy coping with the unconducive school environment and only getting stipends from the community, which they said is not even coming on a regular basis. They appeal to the state government to integrate them into the state teaching service and employ more teachers in the school to improve learning.
I'm a community teacher. It's community that is paying us to assist the system because it's too awkward to leave the 2 teachers on grant. We need teachers, come up, give us teachers. The other time they complained that teachers wouldn't like to come to remote area. Then we say, okay, we'll recommend names for them. We did the recommendation, and yet nothing has happened. And then what we look at is that the area is not safe for students too, because the area is dilapidated. For instance, no ceiling, especially this cold time that is so severe. No ceiling, no windows, no doors. So even the teachers cannot keep their stationaries in the school. Even the senior is the same thing. Like the library there now, there's nothing to write home about there, nothing. So we call for government to come to our aid.
The students also appealed to the government to provide them with good school building so as to help them improve on their studies.
We are lacking of many things. We're lacking of teachers. We are science students and we need science teachers. And we are lacking of chairs. With the students, we are sitting on the floor. So we need chairs. And the school is rough. And we need maintenance in the school. We are with the students. Sometimes when we come to school, we don't know what to do because there's no teachers. The roof, we need to change the roof because there are so many damages about the roof. We need to change the roof. There's nothing good about the school.
We just strive because we don't have choice. We can't travel from here to another community to learn because we have schools here. We just need to study and strive. Many of us, we don't even understand many teachings, but sometimes we still understand. Like the teachers, we don't have many teachers, only few teachers. Like one teacher take almost to 5 lessons, and that's very difficult for them. And the environment also is not conducive for learning. The school is not well fenced, there's no chairs, and there's no textbooks. It looks very difficult in learning in this environment, and we beg the government to help us.
Meanwhile, the Amako Suwe of Gelegele community, Chief Macaulay Ayuwe, said it is sad that the community has been neglected by successive governments. He added that the community lacks good road network, standard school for learning for children in the community, and further said the community ought not to be lacking anything because it houses the crude depot, which is contributing to the GDP of the state and country at large.
Gelegele is an oil-producing community in Edo State, and we suppose not to be lacking of the social amenities. I have mentioned the road which everybody knows. The former governor do pass this road, and he do see how good and bad it is. Those rainy season and dry season, he has been passing the road before he left. Now we have got a new government. We are pleading as a community for the present government to come to give us the needful that they're supposed to give us. You see, we have 2 schools here, the primary school, the secondary school. No one is fenced around. So that a lot of time people do encroach onto the land, which give us concern seriously. And if these 2 schools have fenced around in the first place, it will help the community, also help the government, also help the teachers that are teaching. The secondary school, as you see it, the building is a dilapidated building that you cannot write anything about it. The windows and doors, all the cracked places in the building should be maintained, that our children should be happy. Because when school is well built, well conditioned, the scholars are happy, the teachers are happy.
The executive chairman of Gelegele community, Omaomi Olu Dirimo, alongside the Secretary of Education Task Force in Gelegele community, James Opohi, said with what the Gelegele community has in natural resources, the community should not even be lacking the area of infrastructure. They appealed to Edo State Governor Senator Monday Kwebelo to swing into action immediately to bring the needed development to the community to improve the living standard of Gelegele people. They also made passionate appeal for the realization of the seaport project so as to fast-track the economic and developmental growth to the community.
In no small measure, to the coffers of Edo State. And it will also interest you to know that Gelegele community is the first oil-producing community in Edo State. One of the first in the whole of Niger Delta. One of the first. And you can see the environment for yourself. It doesn't tally. It doesn't relate with the contributions we make and the infrastructures in place. So what we are saying is that the government should do more, especially this new administration, because we are hopeful that this new administration, they will do the needful. We've been neglected by successive government, successful administration, right from military to civilian rule. brand new governor, Senator Mondo Kwebelo, that his attention will be drawn to this area. And you also remember that the Gelegele Seaport is a project that will also benefit the entirety of the state and Niger Delta as a whole. So I want to say this specifically, that we know exactly what will facilitate the establishment of the seaport. This is a river seaport. It's easy. If the government is serious, we'll give them a template on how they will succeed.
We need SUBEB, the chairman of SUBEB, to come to our aid. Our educational facilities here are nothing to write home about. If you look at the school environment, look at the structures, they are all dilapidated. The teachers are not there. We don't have teachers. We don't have desks, good functional library. We don't have laboratories in our secondary school here. And it's so appalling that a community of this magnitude, an oil project community in Edo State, does not have a very good educational standard. We are calling on the government, the state government, and all necessary government agencies to please come to our aid. As you can see, as a task force member, and you can see behind members of the task force of the community, we are helping to ensure that our pupils, our students, goes to school.
Gelegele community is oil producing community in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State. Best orator reporting for BeeTv News.
And business owners along Ibiwe Street in Oedo local government area of Edo State have expressed displeasure with the state of the gutters along Ibiwe and have called on concerned agency of government to deseal the drain and fix the gutters. BeeTv News' Belumi Mukoro has the report.
The gutters along Ibiwe Street is in dire need of maintenance and expansion as the sight and smell is very distasteful and causes environmental pollution due to the narrow nature of the drain and inability of the water to flow. Speaking with BeeTv News, some business owners complained about the effect of the gutter has on their businesses and appealed to government to fix it before the next rainy season.
If the government go free help us, we go like our way because even the thing, I'm the one that's selling this bag. You understand? You will get some customer who go just come, just a complain, oh God, this place just smells. This. We don't have church. It's not that this place is not smell, but we don't have church because it's where you are selling. So if they will feel help, we are begging them. Let them come and help us. I beg. That's what we need for them. Make them help us. Make the gutter they flow well.
Residents and passers-by also spoke about the need for expansion of the gutters to enable it to flow properly when it rains.
This gutter is quite disturbing us here and disturbing passers-by here. It's a very big problem to us. The problem we are having, the challenges we are having here, we do pack this gutter every Monday because we do environmental here every Monday. But the problem after packing the gutter, nobody to come and remove the dirt away. When rain come, even the boats come, they will push it back to gutter again. So we are crying to government to come and assist us. Local government and state government, they come and assist us. If we can be able to pack it out, but where are we going to put the dirt if we remove it from gutter?
Residents and business owners at the Ibiwe Road are appealing to the state government to do the needful. Balumi Mukoro reporting for BeeTv News.
Residents in Benin City have expressed concerns over the increasing cost of house rent in Edo State. They disclosed that the cost of renting a self-contained apartment has risen from 170,000 naira to between 250,000 to 300,000 naira, while the rent for a flat has more than doubled for 500,000 naira to 800,000 naira or 1 million naira, depending on the location. BeeTv News' Osarogi Agobo tells us more.
Landlords and landladies should work on that. They should not just be increasing house. Even without renovating the house, whether they renovate it or not, they just feel it's the right thing for them to do.
Housing refers to the provision of shelter or accommodation for individuals, families, or communities. It encompasses residential structures designed and built for people to live in. Against this backdrop, the cost of housing has become a significant concern, as some residents who spoke with BeeTv News crew said the cost of renting a house in Edo State is steadily increasing. They disclosed that the cost of renting a self-contained apartment has risen from 170,000 to as high as 350,000 naira, while the rent for a flat has risen from 500,000 to 800,000 and 1 million naira to 800,000 and 1 million naira, depending on the location. Some of the respondents who said they have rented their apartment before the rent suddenly increased, stating that when they asked some of the landlord why the increase in the house rent, despite no renovation or improvement of the property, they were told the surge in the house rent was due to the rising cost of building materials and the current state of the Nigeria economy.
It's on the high side. To my own knowledge, I believe a lot of landlord and landlady feels that because we now have Yahoo boys as a men, they don't price. If you just tell them this is the amount of a house, they just what they pay. So they are not longer considerate. They don't care if the person have money or not. They just feel yes, they can make money out of high. Like my house now, they will hide the times 2 of the amount.
Please, the landlord in Edo should actually should look at maybe we have a committee or they will have something to do to reduce high price in Edo because things are very high now. I think it's getting time. If you see now, you will at least go to some areas. People are starting moving to other states because of the house rent in Edo State, not because of another thing. Though the standard of living in Edo State is high, we know, but the house rent now is in high price. So if you check people living at close to Ovia side, you will see many houses maybe empty, no tenants. People are already moving to Ondo State because of the price.
It's no longer affordable now. Okay. It's on the high side. People are finding it difficult to rent a house now. Unlike before, when it was cheap. You can see a room at Palace Conte before 150, 120. But now it's up to 300 to 400,000 per annum. So the thing is getting out of hand.
I'm a tenant. Even if I have my own property I'm developing somewhere, the situation we find ourselves is very, very pressing. Situation whereby a landlord will just increase his house rent from maybe a room self-contained from 200,000 to 350. There are some for 400,000 around Ugbo Road, Airport Road, and Saple Road as well. So it's a very pressing situation. So many people cannot afford it, and for no reason, we don't know how it came about. Nobody can point at the problem or the situation where the landlord is getting those reasons.
They appeal to the government to intervene and address the escalating house rent crisis by addressing the root cause of the issue of stabilizing economy, noting that if the increase in house rent persists, many families who are tenants may have no choice but be left homeless.
I will just, though it's true, because and the reason why that is happening is because things are now increasing in price every day. The cost of food, the cost of living is increasing every day. I think that was why the landlord and landladies add another money to the payment before. Well, my advice is that I should just please the government to reduce the cost of living so that the landlady and the landlords will also reduce the price of the rent.
The situation we are now, things are very expensive. House rate is very expensive. The building materials all are expensive. Buying of a plot of land is expensive. So the way I look at it, increasing of house rates is not other too much, because to get a plot of land, to get a building is too expensive. We are on the expensive side. So to erect a structure of 2-bedroom now, you spend up to millions of naira, which before now, with thousands of naira, you can build a house.
It is the hope of the residents of Edo State that the government will intervene and stabilize the economy to reduce the increasing cost of living. Usarogi Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
Citizens of Edo State have advised the general public on precautionary measures to prevent fire outbreak in homes and business places, most especially this dry season. The advice is coming in the heels of the recent incidents of fire outbreak in Benin City. BeeTv News' Pelumi Mukoro has the report.
you don't slip off. And so I think if we can apply all these things, we can reduce the risk of fire outbreaks.
With the recent fire incident recorded in Benin City lately, one along Way and the other along Uwa Road, residents are advised to incorporate safety measures to prevent fire outbreaks both in their homes and business places. Speaking with BeeTv News, some respondents stated how electricity is one of the major causes of fire outbreaks and how all electric appliances should be put off at night and when leaving the house.
It's pretty simple. One of the things you can do to prevent fire outbreak is simply one to put off electrical appliances when they are not in use. Then be careful with children, because children they cause fire outbreak a lot. For example, you may not be at home. Your children can be at home and they are playing with your gas and all that. So you can warn them not to do all that. And like I said before, when you are going out of the house, you put off all electrical appliances like your wall socket, your anything electrical. I think that is the easiest way.
What is happening in this country, a lot of things has been happening. The issue of outbreak, especially if you are staying with your children, try and monitor the move of your children. Whenever they want to sleep, monitor them. Maybe they have some other like matches and the lighter around them. Say maybe they can mistakenly on the lighter before they start burning around the house. Sometimes you need to monitor your kitchen, so maybe electric stove, whether you are cooking, they have already off the line, they have already taken the light that you forget to off it. So as soon as you never bring the light again, it can lead main cause of the fire outbreak.
Other respondents spoke about the usage of gas cylinders in a safer way and keeping children out of the reach of gas cylinders.
If you are living in a house, all the appliances first. The gas cooker, make sure you connect the wire as the rope outside from the kitchen. Way to rent it. Even though the fire extinguisher, make sure you have it at home. Burning of refuse for compound. There's a way you prevent it. It's not good to burn the refuse in a compound.
Don't keep your electronics on. Then some people usually keep their gas. They keep the gas opened. Me myself, I've made that mistake. So make sure your cooking appliances are always turned off.
Advise people to be careful with fire. If there's a late fire somewhere, it's either you put it off before leaving, or you find a way to control it. If there's a fire outbreak, and talking about the fire service, they should be active at all times.
Edo citizens and Nigerians in general are advised to take safety measures to prevent fire incidents, especially this dry season. Belumi Mukoro reporting for BeeTv News.
The Nigerian Governors Forum has endorsed a revised value-added tax sharing formula in the proposed tax reform bills to ensure equitable distribution of resources across the country. This decision was taken at the end of the Subnational Consultation and Engagement of Presidential Tax Reform Committee. They recommended that the sharing formula of VAT should be 50% based on equity, 30% based on derivation, and 20% based on consumption. The meeting to deliberate on critical national issues, including the reform of Nigeria's fiscal policy and tax system, also agreed that there should be no increase in the VAT rate or reduction in corporate income tax at this time. The forum advocates exemption of essential goods and agricultural produce from VAT to safeguard the welfare of citizens and promote agricultural productivity. The governors also recommended that there should be no terminal clause for TENSPOD and NEDA in the sharing of development levies and bills. Another significant outcome of the meeting between the NGF and the Presidential Tax Reform Committee is the support for the continuation of the legislative process of the National Assembly that will culminate in the eventual passage of the tax reform bills. Interesting development. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde on Thursday said the government has taken steps to prosecute those that caused the Bodija explosion on January 16, 2024. He also said the government had inaugurated a relief disbursement committee comprising residents of the affected areas and others, adding that the government would also start the process of rebuilding the affected areas. The governor gave the assurance in commemoration of the first anniversary of the explosion that rocked the Dejo Oyelese Close, Adeyi Avenue, Bodija area of Ibadan. BeeTv News Harmony Agbafo has the details.
January 16, 2024 is a date that will continue to resonate in the minds of residents of Aderiola Street, Bodija, as its impact spread for several kilometers across the ancient city of Ibadan, sending shockwaves, damaging and destroying over 30 buildings and everything in sight. The cause of the explosion is still being investigated, but it is believed to be linked to the storage of explosives in the residential area. This incident has also raised concerns about security and safety in the region. 1 year down the line, the scars of the tragedy are yet to heal and left to bear, while the residents continue to advocate for justice and support for the affected families, with many unable to return to their homes.
We demanded justice, that those who caused the problem should be prosecuted, and there should be transparency so that people can have closure. That is assurance that those who caused the problem have been punished, and that there will not likely be people who will do that kind of thing again.
It's been very difficult, extremely difficult for a lot of families, you know. Some have been able to put their lives back together, but many have not. And even if they did, or they have, you know, the memories lingers. Some look outside their windows and, you know, their neighbors are no more and all that. So it's been extremely difficult, I won't lie.
A remembrance service was also held for victims of the explosion. The speaker called for the strengthening of the community bonds and act on the importance of unity, vigilance and support for one another.
Man can provide little answers, but only God has all the answers. And that's why God spoke to us where I just read now. There is nothing hidden that will not be what? That will not be reviewed.
I think it's all been promises and promises all the while, but we don't know when their promises will be fulfilled anyway.
What do you wish for, sir, at this time?
They are talking about support for victims, and we don't know when that will come about.
Some individuals have come to support the community, but over and beyond that, we keep hearing that the federal government and the state government are looking into it, but they've been looking for the last 1 year. Some actions were taken with regards to accommodating those that were affected, but again, even that had some commas, because those that were accommodated in hotels, etc., were also kicked out within like 30 days to 45 days in a very undignifying manner.
Our desire is to prevent any future occurrence again. We don't want any such thing to happen either in Bodija or any part of Oyo State. And His Excellency remains committed to protecting the lives of the residents and the citizens of Oyo State, and also our property. 5 charity members of the Bodija community lost their lives in the January 16, 2024 tragedy, with over 70 victims sustaining various degrees of injuries, while over 200 houses were damaged. It remains to be seen whether the government will be seen to put a final stop to incidents like this, who experts have described as avoidable. The impact on the January 16 explosion is devastating and is yet to fizzle out the psyche of those affected by this avoidable tragedy. They want the government to put out in place viable mechanisms that can stop a reoccurrence of this avoidable act. The charge also is for residents and indeed all citizens to be vigilant, and if you see something, you just have to say something. Harmony Agbafo reporting for BeeTv News.
And now we'll be going on a short break and we'll be right back. Please stay with
Original no be my mind, authentic no be my mind.
Original no be quality paint EDS for quality paint you. Now EDS for quality paint you. Now EDS for emotion, super satin, super matte, gravitas paint today, texture paint today, and the high quality emotion. Now for EDS, you don't go fed now for EDS.
EDS Quality Paints, Kilometer 12, Benin Saple Road by Ogege Quarters, Benin City, or our branch office, 68 Saple Road, opposite former Edo State Library, now ShopRite.
Contact us today on 090-5320-6873. EDS Quality Paints, keeping your goals live. Yes.
My fellow Edo citizen, shey you know say the Edo State Signage and Advertisement Agency don tanda gidigba by law to regulate and collect revenue for all signage and outdoor advertisement inside we Edo State. These include all signboards, billboards, banner or anything wey show and tell the public that business wey you dey do. Register and pay your advert or signage permit today. Visit EDSA office for inside Palm House, Block A, Floor 6, or make you green our telephone number 0906-3947-365 or 0807-4454-219. EDSA don position to take serve you better o. The business wey you dey do wey no get sign, na sign say you no get business na im be that o. This message is brought to you by Edo State Signage and Advertisement Agency.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. And now to the foreign scene where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has confirmed that a Gaza ceasefire deal has been agreed with Hamas after resolving last-minute disputes. BeeTv News Global News correspondent Rebecca Golfi tells us more on these and other stories from the foreign scene.
Netanyahu initially delayed a cabinet vote on Thursday, accusing Hamas of attempting last-minute changes. However, his security cabinet is now meeting to vote on the agreement, which will also require government approval. Netanyahu announced that if all details are finalized, the first hostages could be released as early as Sunday. Hamas stated on Friday that obstacles related to the ceasefire were resolved with help from mediators, claiming that Israel initially failed to fully comply with the agreement. Meanwhile, a fire erupted on Thursday afternoon at the Moss Landing power plant in California, which houses one of the largest battery energy storage facilities globally. The fire started in the building containing lithium-ion batteries, according to the Monterey County Sheriff's Office. The plant, operated by Vistra Corp, was evacuated along with nearby areas. No injuries have been reported. Fire experts advise officials to let the building and batteries burn rather than actively fight the fire, the Sheriff's Office stated. U.S. President Joe Biden has committed the sentences of nearly 2,500 individuals convicted of non-violent drug offenses just days before leaving office. He stated that these individuals were excessively long sentences compared to what they would face under current laws and policies. Biden's decision, announced on Friday, adds to his record of granting more pardons and commutations than any other U.S. president. The president explained that Friday's actions focused on people sentenced under outdated policies such as harsher penalties for crack cocaine compared to powder cocaine and outdated sentencing enhancements for drug crimes. Biden, who once helped create the 1986 law that caused these disparities, supported its repeal in 2022. And lastly on Global News, 3 lawyers who represented Alexei Navalny, the late Russian opposition leader, have been sentenced to prison terms ranging from 3.5 to 5.5 years. They were convicted of participating in an extremist organization. They were arrested in October 2023, months after Navalny died suddenly in an Arctic prison colony. Authorities accused the lawyers of using their positions to relay messages between Navalny and his allies. The lawyers' defenders argued that evidence against them involved illegal surveillance of private client meetings, which is prohibited under Russian law. And that's it on the Global News segment for tonight. Thanks very much for watching. I am Rebecca Golfi.
And that's the size of our news package for tonight. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Gift Uwagboy. Have a good night.